The long-term viability, to me anyway, is somewhat in question as far as what this sport and the game is going to look like 20 years from now. I've got young daughters. I don't have a young son. If I did, I certainly would not tell him he couldn't play football. And if it's something that he wanted to do, I would say, okay, great. But I don't know that I'd be encouraging him to play. Whereas the other sports, I think that, yeah, you want your kids active and doing those types of things. And if I was a parent with a 10-year-old son, I don't know that I'd feel real good with the information that's been coming out saying, hey, yeah, go play tackle football. So I think the owners in the league recognizes that. So at the grassroots, they're trying to address it and make the game safer for that reason as well. I think to another point, I think it's a very good question, by the way, on the different parts that you asked. And I read a book several years ago, and it was called America's Game, and it went through the history of football and pro football. And it talked about the missteps that baseball took that kept them from continuing to be the #1 sport. And so football then overtook it. And I believe, and this is my opinion, that at some point football is not going to be the #1 sport. I mean, it's just, you talk about the ebbs and flows of what's popular and what's not. At some point in time, football is not going to be the #1 sport. At some point in time, the TV ratings are not going to continue to go through the roof. A lot of people thought this was going to be the year that the ratings did not increase, yet they were astronomical. And so you then pay what the TV partners are paying to be able to broadcast football. And I believe, looking at what is taking place, yes, we want to continue to grow the pie. The owners do. I say we. The owners certainly do. The league does. That I think that we're going to look back at this point in time and say these were the missteps that the National Football League took that kept football from being the #1 sport. And I say that, time will tell, but at one time watching football on TV was an event. For those of us that are older, we saw Monday Night Football. That was a big event. And now they're increasing the Thursday night package on the NFL Network. And so you get football, you get it Sunday, you get it Monday, you get it Thursday, and then late in the year you get it on Saturday. And so now you're talking about, well, now football, and what happened with the NFL Network is people then realized, a little bit like the people in Los Angeles realized, that, you know what, life's okay without the NFL. We're all right, And if I'm an owner, I don't want any fan thinking that. And when you put out the package on the NFL Network and they couldn't get it in the homes like they had anticipated, all of a sudden fans, me included, you know what? I wasn't getting the Thursday night game. I was okay with that. That's not good. That's not a good thing. So I think that there have been some, greed or whatever it is. I think there have been some real missteps that are taking place. I can't validate that because the numbers suggest otherwise, but I guess time will tell.